Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Devasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Nitai Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Thank you very much for coming. I hope everybody is excited to have color festival of colors, right? Aibo, Papa Ki. Okay, so we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 7, which is called Drona was punished, and then we will read from verse 30 to 34. where Hare Krishna. Sorry, quiz come? No. Okay. So where basically Arjuna retract the Brahmastra. So before that, we will just do some little prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Narachaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirai Nashtaprayashu Pavadreshu Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloki Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. First of all, I seek permission from Srila Prabhupada, Sri Radha Madhav, my Guru Maharaj, and all Vaishnavas assembled here to say something meaningful. And if I say something which pleases you, that is that the credit goes to my Guru Maharaj. And if I say something which is faulty or not appropriate as per the parampara or shiksha, then this fault is for mine. Please forgive me. Okay, so you can all read, right? I can't see that with class. I mean, either I can see here or I can see there. Yeah, that is how the material world is. You are limited. Your vision is limited, but still we are proud of our life. Okay. Samyatta anyonam ubhayo. Tejoshi swara sambritte. Abrittodashi kamchwa. Babridhate aj arko panivat. Anyone? Samyatvana ananyo ubhaya. Tejoshi swara sambritte. Abrittodashi kamchwa. Translation and part by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the rays of the two Brahmastras combined, a great circle of fire like the disk of sun covered all outer spaces and the whole firmament of planets. Part the heat created by the flash of the Brahmastra resembles the fire exhibited in the sun globe at the time of cosmic annihilation. The radiation of atomic energy is very insignificant in comparison to the heat produced by a Brahmastra. The atomic bomb explosion can at most blow up one globe, but the heat produced by the Brahmastra can destroy the whole cosmic situation. The comparison is therefore made to the heat at the time of annihilation. Do some prayer. Invoke the blessings. Om Ajnana Divinandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jana Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadatisya Padantikam Vandeham Sri Gurung Sri Jitapada Kamalam Sri Gurung Vaishnavangsya Sri Rupam Shagrajatang Shagana Raghunatha Nitang Tang Swadhivam Swadaitam Swabdutam Parijan Shaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Shagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Nitangsya Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Kucharini Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Pasyatto Deshotarine Manchakalpataru Vasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Papunibho Vaishnavibho Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namostute Tapto Ganchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam. Okay. So let's little bit recap of the context, and that way it is easier to talk also. So we know that Mahabharat war happened how many days? 18 days. And the last day there was a fight between Bhima and Duryodhana. The fight with the gloves, and then in the fight, the Duryodhana was severely injured. His spine broken, his thigh. Bhima hit on the thigh, and then his spine was broken, and he was injured. So then Pandavas left him alone and went, and as a custom, they actually spent one night in the Kaurava's tent. So when they are sleeping, that time Ashwathama, who is Ashwathama? The son of Dronacharya and Kriti. Okay. He actually went and he wanted to take the revenge with Pandavas, and then he went to kill Pandavas. He saw that in a tent, five person who looks like a Pandavas are sleeping. So in the night he could not recognize properly, and although it is not a correct way of the Kshatriya Dharma, but he actually released the arrows and killed all the five. And he thought that he killed the Pandavas. But actually they are not Pandavas. They are the son of all the five Pandavas. And then he came and he told to Duryodhana, "Oh, you know what? I killed all the Pandavas." Then Duryodhana asked that, and then he actually chopped the head and brought the heads. And when he showed the head to Duryodhana, Duryodhana said, "No, these are not the Pandavas. These are the son of Pandavas. What a shameful thing you have done." Like that, saying, Duryodhana left his body. And then in the morning, when it was Pandavas came to know and Draupadi came to know, they are all son of Draupadis from Pandavas. And she started lamenting, and then Pandavas becomes very angry. Then Arjuna promised Draupadi that I will bring the Ashwatthama's head, because from the arrow, it was known that this arrow belongs to Ashwatthama. Every warrior arrow has some kind of sign or mark. So they chased Ashwatthama, and Ashwatthama was trying to flee, but he could not. And then Ashwatthama actually released the Brahmastra. Brahmastra here, as you can see, it has been told that this is the most powerful nuclear weapon. Although the comparison is not appropriate, because Brahmastra is much more powerful than comparing the current nuclear weapon that we have. Because current nuclear weapon can hardly destroy maybe a few cities or province or maybe one country, but this Brahmastra can destroy the whole cosmic creation, like 7 planet up, 7 planet down, and the earth, the whole universe it can annihilate, destroy. That's what has been told. So he released Brahmastra, and looking at that, Krishna ordered Arjuna to also release the Brahmastra. So now these two Brahmastra actually hit to each other, and that created a scorching heat, and the fire, which looks like completely like a sun. Just like a disk here, it is mentioned, it's like a sun. And then we will see that sun creates so much heat that it actually, all the inhabitants of the three lokas, Sargamatta Patal means all the three lokas, all the 14 planetary system, people started feeling the heat and burning. So they started crying. So we will see next what happens. So go to verse 31. Okay. Drishta Astra Teja Tu Tayo Trinlokan Mahadhaya Manaha Maha. Sorry, my bad. Trinlokan Pradhat Trin Lokan Pradahat Mahat Ayamanaha Praja Shadva Shambar Takam Amam Shwata. Translation: all the population of the three worlds was scorched by the combined heat of the weapons. Everyone was reminded to the Shambar Taka fire, which takes place at the time of annihilation. But the three worlds are upper, lower, and intermediate planets of the universe. Although the Brahmastra was released on this earth, the heat produced by the combination of both weapons covered all the universe, and all the population on all the different planets began to feel that heat excessively and compared it to the Samvartaka fire. No planet, therefore, is without living beings as less intelligent materialistic main thing. No planet, therefore, is without living being as less intelligent materialistic main thing. Prabhupada just give it a pinch actually to this our intelligent materialistic scientist who thinks that there is no human being in the in living being in the moon. There's no living being in the Mars, but Prabhupada said there, it's only our planet. Of course, now NASA used to believe that there are lives in the other planet, but still they are not convinced that there can be living beings into the Mars or moon. So Prabhupada says, no, this is not correct. As less intelligent materialistic men think. Okay. So then 1-7-32. Anybody want to read? Anybody want to recite? Oh, you want to recite? 32.
Prajopadram alakshya
Jabardam alakshaya
kavyatikaram chakam
loka karam cha
vasudevasya
Vasudevashva
sanja arjunotavyam
Arjuna Davyam. Translation read.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Thus, seeing the disturbance of the general populace and the imminent destruction of the planets, Arjuna at once retracted both Brahmastra weapons as Lord Shri Krishna desired. Somebody else want to read?
Okay, Prabhu, read the part.
The theory that the modern atomic bomb explosions can annihilate the world is a childish imagination. First of all, the atomic energy is not powerful enough to destroy the world. And secondly, ultimately, it all rests on the supreme will of the Supreme Lord, because without his will or sanction, nothing can be built upon or destroyed. It is foolish also to think that natural laws are ultimately powerful. Material nature's law works under the direction of the Lord, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord says there that natural laws work under his supervision. The world can be destroyed only by the will of the Lord and not by the wills of any politicians. Lord Sri Krishna desired that the weapons released by both Drauni and Arjuna be withdrawn, and it was carried out by Arjuna at once. Similarly, there are many agents of the all-powerful Lord, and by his will only can one execute what he desires.
Yeah. So Prabhupada says the very important point that this material world is working under the direction of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Which verse? Maya Dakshana Prakriti, Bhagavad Gita 9:10. Maya Dakshana Prakriti Suati Swacharacharam Hetu Annina Komteo Jagat Viproy Vartati. So Maya Dakshana Prakriti, Maya means mind, Adhaksha means under the supervision, Prakriti. So the Prakriti or the nature works under the direction of Supreme Personality of the Godhead. But we think that we think we can control the nature, right? And Prabhupada says that we think that through the atomic bomb we can create the destruction. First of all, the atomic bomb is not so powerful like Brahmastra. That is point number one. and even if it becomes powerful, it cannot operate just because we are wishing to destroy. That should be sanctioned by Krishna also, because everything works under the direction of the Krishna. How is that? How is that? Can you give some, can you like that? For example, I mean, can you first let's understand. How do you understand this? That whatever we are building, some scientific thing and all, it's still Gita. It is said that it works under the direction of Krishna. How is that? And then Prakriti and Prabhupada give an example, like we create a skyscraper building. What we do, whatever ingredient we are using, that is given by Prakriti. Another example I like to give, that when Newton was sitting under the apple tree, the apple fell down, right? And Newton was asking that why is apple falling down? Why it is not going up? And as a query of his search, he actually found the gravitational law, right? But you see, it is not that he created gravitational law. He just discovered the nature of gravitational, right? So somebody might have already given the law of the nature. It is scientists who are trying to find and discover how the mystery of the nature is working, and use that for some other purpose. But no, but they claim we created it. But gravitational law is not created by any scientist. It is given by somebody who is supreme, who is the lord of this material nature. That is Krishna. That's why Prabhupada is saying that everything works under the direction of Krishna. Now, even if we want that we will destroy everything, annihilate everything, this is not possible. You might have seen that in the history of our history in India, or even in the world, there are so many great warrior came, great emperor came. They wanted to do so many things, but at the end of the day, they are nowhere, right? They are gone, but still Krishna is alive. Still Krishna's glories is alive. So we can see that with our temporary nature thought, we whenever we get some power or intelligence, we try to feel that we are the controller. Yes, we can be a minute controller because we are the part and parcel of the Krishna. Therefore, we have the minute quality. We can be a minute controller, but we cannot be a supreme controller. So the supreme controller is Krishna. Unless until, for example, other day we are discussing Hiranyakashipu, such a powerful man, right? He was creating the terror in the complete universe, but still he was a minute person when Narasimhadev came. So that's how we see that. We see Hitler, we see Napoleon, we see Alexander. Where are they? They have created so much terror in this world. But where are they? They are just nowhere. That by that over the time they are just vanished. Okay, so we will go to the next. We have 2 more words to complete. Okay, and then we'll have some reflection. Okay. Then who want Ananta Vishnu, you want to read? You can see the screen, right? Yeah. Tata Ashwatva Tarashva Darunam Gautami Shutam Bhavanda Amar Swatam Raksha Pashu Prashanaya Yatha. You know, right? One of the trick is if you are not able to pronounce properly the big word, because we are not very accustomed of the Sanskrit, better to use the synonyms. Prabhupada has broken it in how we call it, Sandhi Vichcheda. I don't know how to call it in English, but he has actually broken the word. So I generally follow these synonyms words, and that automatically is able to decide. Otherwise, such a big word sometimes is very difficult. Still, these words are a little smaller, but there are sometimes It's too big that you need to break three. And when you look at the proper synonyms, and then that is how you practice. It is much easier for the people who is not very accustomed to read Sanskrit words. Okay, translation. Yeah, read for translation.
Ashwadhama's mother, Kriti, was born in the family of Gautama. The significant point in this sloka is that Ashwadhama was caught and bound up with rope like an animal. According to Sridhar Swami, Arjuna was obliged to catch this son of a Brahmana like an animal as a part of his duty, dharma. This suggestion by Sridhar Swami is also confirmed in the later statement of Sri Krishna. Ashwadhama was a bona fide son of Dronacharya and Kriti, but because he had degraded himself to a lower status of life, it was proper to treat him as an animal and not as a Brahman.
That is very, very important. Ashwatthama was a bona fide son of Dronacharya and Kriti, who are like a proper Brahmana and Brahmanis. But because he had degraded himself to a lower status of life, it was proper to treat him as an animal and not as a Brahman. Chaturvarnam Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagashya. So this Varnashram, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, is not done based on your birth, but based on your quality and worth. Okay. Any idea why a Varnashrama Dharma is so logical? Many people I heard I was discussing with some California folks, and he was saying that they are saying basically but this caste system is so cruel. It is more importantly, it is implemented or practiced in today's world in that way. But Varnashram Dharma is very scientific. Can anybody tell how it is so scientific? Of course, Krishna says Chaturvarnam Maya system Guna Karma Vibhagasya. By the quality and the karma, not by birth, but by the quality and karma, I have divided it. That means Krishna is sanctioned, right? How can Krishna sanction something which is illogical and cruel? So, any idea? What is your thought? Why is it really logical? Is it really acceptable? If somebody asks you, right? How do you feel? How do you think of that? But dividing somebody that, okay, you can do only this work and not this work, and you are allowed to do this work and not this work, just because he has some quality to be Brahmana, not Kshatriya, then you cannot fight like that. Is it a discrimination? Not really, right? I'll give you an example. Let's say there is a soccer match. Okay, what happens? All the 11 players is running against the ball. Is it a match? Is it a chaos or is it a match? It's chaos, right? All the ball is going. Of course, rugby and all is little different. I don't understand the grammar, but let's concentrate on soccer match. In the soccer match, think of that a ball is there. All the 11 players from both sides, 11, 22 players is against that ball. Nothing will happen, right? Everybody has a position. Each and every position, including the goalkeeper, in midfielder, defender, everybody has a position. Everybody has a quality, and because of that quality, coach has given a position. Not that any position is inferior or superior. Although similarly, like Kshatriya and Brahmana may look like a superior, and Shudra may sound like an inferior, but in reality, it is all are important position. Just like in a soccer match, all are important position. It's not goalkeeper is standing in the goal and all the players are playing. That's because goalkeeper is an inferior position. No, when it comes to the goal, he is the man to save. When it comes to the penalty shot, he is the man to save. He is the hero. If he can save it, he becomes hero, right? So every position is important. No position is superior or inferior in that sense. every position, to execute every position properly, you need a specific skill. And that person who has that skill is advised to work in that. Otherwise, it will be a chaos. Similarly, Varnashram Dharma is like that. It's not Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra are different. Every position has their own way, in own position. It is said that Brahmana is like a head, because head is the brain. Kshatriya is like a two hands, because it actually operates. Belly is the Vaishya, because Vaishya earns money by the agriculture and the business, whereas Shudra is the leg. But if you cut a leg, what will happen? I mean, nothing will happen. Even if you have a very good head, brain, hands, but if you don't have a leg, what will happen? That life is miserable. So it's not that Shudra's life is inferior or Brahmana's life is superior. Everybody is given a chance and position in the society so that together they can make a better society. So what it is said that although Ashwatthama was a son of Dronacharya and Kripi, so by default he should exhibit the Brahminical qualities, but because of the association of the Duryodhan, Shokuni and Karna, he degraded. And as a result of which he becomes envious to the devotees, Pandavas and the Krishna, and that's why he actually is not to be treated as a Brahmana. And they are called, you will see later on, they are called Dijobandhu. Prabhupada gives an example, let's say a high court judge. If a high court judge, a son of a high court judge does not become automatically a judge. He has to get the quality or qualification to become a judge. But if I say that son, oh, he is a son of the high court judge, it's not wrong. Similarly, Dijobandhu means, Dijo means twice born, which is, we get the Brahminical thread, right? We get two birth. One is parents and one is from spiritual master. So that Brahmana and the Bandhu of Brahmana means the relative of that. So because Ashwatthama was child of Dronacharya and Kripi, so he was known as Dijabandhu. But because his work, like killing the son of the Pandavas in the midnight when they are sleeping, is like a animalistic propensity. Therefore, they are treated as an enemy. He is treated as an animal. So it is not wrong to bind him. Okay. Okay, the last verse. Who wants to read? Anybody from Mataji's? Right? Nobody is expert in Sanskrit recitation. So don't worry. Just try. You can try with the synonyms if you. Shiviraya Nimishwantam Rajva Vadva Ripumvala Praha Arjunam Prabhupitaha. Bhagavan Ambuja Ikshanaha. Translation is it? Very nice, right? Om apavitra pavitrava sarvavasthan gato viva jakshare pundarikaksho shavachya abhantara shuchi. Pundarikaksha means it's like lotus-like eyes. Whenever we think of this lotus-like eyes, shavachya abhantara shuchi. Shavachya means externally and internally we are always cleansed. So sometimes, like let's say you are traveling, but you need to do some chanting, and you feel like, oh, I'm like, I'm a little dirty, not very clean, right? But you are in flight, or you need to do Gayatri or anything like that. You can always chant Om Apavitra Pavitra. That is why you will see that any priest they will take the Achman water and they remember the lotus-like eyes of Lord Pundarikaksha. Aksha means eyes. So whenever they remember, then they becomes externally externally and internally purified. So yes, Krishna is absolute. Therefore, there is no duality. Right? In this material world, there is duality. But Krishna is absolute. So his anger and his pleasure both are blissful. That's what he's saying. Although, and why they are angry? Because of the heinous activity that Ashwatthama did. But Arjuna's anger is presented outside because his condition is not condition. He's also pure devotee, much better than us, but not, of course, the absolute level like Krishna is. So it is said that Krishna's blessing and even if Krishna is angry, his eyes is still very pleasing, even if he is very angry. So yeah, so because he is absolute in nature. So we'll discuss here. We end in today's scope. Now we will little bit go forward and little summarize so that we can actually understand little bit. We can have some takeaway. So after the basically why they are angry, why Krishna is not happy is that Arjuna tied Ashwatthama and he is taking it into the military camp where the Yudhishthir, Bhima, Draupadi and other Pandavas are there. So Krishna, you will see later on, Krishna will say, why you are taking it? He has done such a heinous job. Why don't you kill? He didn't work like a Brahmana. So there is no problem. There is no irreligiosity in that by killing Ashwatthama. But Arjuna, and actually Krishna was testing Arjuna. But Arjuna said it's not right to kill a person who does not even fighting. So he stick to the principle and he take to the military camp. When they went to the military camp, the Bhima wanted to kill. It's very aggressive and he wanted to kill. But Draupadi, whose 5th son was killed, she becomes little merciful and she said that the pain I am going through, I don't want the Dronacharya's wife, Pipi, or Ashwatthama's mother feel the same pain. Therefore, I don't like to kill him. I mean, I don't want to kill him. So Yudhishthir also sanctioned. But Arjuna already promised that he will kill the aggressor who has killed the 5 son of the Pandavas. So what Krishna said is that, okay, you don't need to kill the body, but you defame it in such a way so he is like a dead body. So what they did is that he shaved the hair, and there's a jewel in the forehead of Ashwatthama. They took it away. That way, it is like his all the effulgence and the glory is actually gone away, and he became like he lost his all the power and all, and he became like a dead man. Now, after this incident, in the next chapter, you will see that I don't want to go details, but next chapter you will see in the Kunti Devi's pair, when Krishna was about to leave, then Uttara. Anybody knows who is Uttara? Sorry? Wife of Abhimanyu. When Abhimanyu went for fighting, Uttara was pregnant. So, and in the Uttara's home, who was there? Parikshit Maharaj, king. Okay, the last person in the Kaurava and Pandavas family. Now that when Uttara was pregnant, what happened is that Ashwatthama actually released his Brahmastra first towards Arjuna, then he diverted it to kill this embryo in the womb of Uttara. And when this Brahmastra was following Uttara, Uttara seek the help or protection from Krishna. So Krishna, and then Krishna understood what Ashwatthama did, and Krishna, with his power, he entered into the womb and he covered it. And therefore, it is said in Bhagavatam that he nullified the power of that Brahmastra. And thus, we'll see that Kunti Devi started giving the prayer. That's how he actually saved the Parikshit Maharaj. Now, if you see, that is why Krishna says, right, in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharmana Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Bhaja Aham Tang Sarva Papebho Mukha Swayam Mahasucha. Just surrender to me, I will deliver you, do not worry. So he promised the protection, and that's what he did in to Parikshit Maharaj when he was in the home. He did to many other people, right? When we go to Bhagavatam, we see he protected Gajendra, he protected Draupadi, he protected Pandavas in many occasions, he protected Prahlad Maharaj, he protected Ambarish Maharaj. So all those, whenever you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, you will see how Krishna actually protect everybody. But one question might come that Krishna did not protect Ashwatthama. So is it Lord is partial? That Lord is a little biased to Pandavas and against to Kauravas, Ashwatthama? How is it? So if you look at Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 29, Krishna says, neither I am envious, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But if someone is my friend, then I become, if someone is friendly to me, I become his dear friend. So Krishna is not partial. So example can be given, when the rain is falling, it is falling into the land and it is falling into the stones. Because the stone's heart is very hard, it is not able to take that water. But if the land is taking the water, and it becomes fertile. Like if we just put the hand like this, the water will come and go from this inside in the finger. But if we close it, we can hold the water. It is up to us to hold the water. Water is coming. Whether we want to hold it or we want to leave it, it is up to us. That's free will is there. So Krishna is not partial. Krishna is equal to all. But because Ashwatthama becomes envious and never accepted Krishna as their master, or it never accepted as Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he is not obliged to protect. But because Pandavas are always surrendered, Prahlad Maharaj is always surrendered, so they are always protected. Actually, if you see, other day we are discussing that Bhagavad Gita gives you the basic principle and instruction. But Bhagavatam expands those principles and gives an elaboration with the illustration of the different pastimes. And when we read those pastimes, then our principles becomes realized. That's why once you have some understanding of Bhagavad Gita, it is highly recommended that you should go to the Bhagavatam. Because by reading Bhagavatam, you will see that Bhagavad Gita, you will see it is too much in the 11th canto, it is so much expanded in many different places. Same Bhagavad Gita principle has been expanded. That's why Srila Prabhupada, in the part of Bhagavad Gita, also bring the Bhagavatam content. Again, Bhagavatam, he bring the Bhagavad Gita because he connects very intelligently. So that's how, when you read these pastimes, it will be more realized. Otherwise, when you say surrender, what do you mean by surrender? You come in the temple, do a dandavat. Does it mean surrender? It's an external manifestation. That is also important to give the obeisances. But surrender, there are 6 aspects. And those 6 aspects are manifested in the pastime of the Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj. And when we learn their pastime, we become realized and we become practiced. Now, another interesting thing is that, I need to finish it. Bishop Prabhu is there. Okay. So, another interesting thing is, question comes, at least in my mind, that Parikshit Maharaj was saved when he was in the womb. But when we know that son of Samik Rishi, that is Sringi, cursed, that within 7 days you will be killed, Krishna could have counteract, or Krishna could have adjust the situation in such a way that he is saved. Why didn't he save Parikshit Maharaj at that time? It is the same story when Jai Vijay was a doorkeeper and he was guarding the door, and the Chatush Kumar came and they said, no, my master is taking rest, you can't go. And then these four Kumaras cursed that become the demon and go to material world. Vishnu would have actually saved them. Why Vishnu allowed Joy Vijay to be cast and go to the material world? So this question can come, that why sometimes Krishna or Vishnu sometimes protects, sometimes does not protect. What is this? So actually, if you see, there is a greater purpose. Had it been the fact that Parikshit Maharaj was not cast, who will chant the Srimad Bhagavatam? Sukadev Goswami, actually it's an orchestration of Krishna, so that Sukadev Goswami can chant the Srimad Bhagavatam and we can glorify Bhagavatam, so we can read and listen ages after ages. Similarly, if Jai Vijay was not cast, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha is not there, who would have known the Nrsimhadev, the wonderful form of the Nrsimhadev? Ages and ages now we are actually glorifying the Nrsimhadev because Jai Vijay or Pariyajay actually took the cars, took the pain. So these are the orchestration between the Krishna and Krishna's pure devotees. Of course, Krishna is not going to, don't think that, oh, I am also doing that because you know Krishna's orchestration. No, we are not in that level. But these are the Mahabhagavat level with which Krishna actually does this orchestration for the sake of the humanity, for the sake of the people like us. Actually, therefore, we should always seek the protection. Whether it's a material issue, whether it's a spiritual issue, we should always seek the protection of the Krishna. Because Krishna promised, Name Bhakta, my bold, declare it boldly that my devotee will never perish. That's why Rupa Goswami says that Utshahat Nischay Dhariyat Tat Karma Pravartanat Sanga Tagat Shatavritte Shatvid Bhakti Parasiddhati. Utshahat Nischay Dhariyat. Utshahat means enthusiasm, like we can see our glorious Balabhadra Kripa Prabhu ki jai. You know, when he comes in the temple, you will see the enthusiasm in his act, in his behavior, in his every action. So Utshahat, always enthusiasm. Nischayat, that always confident, Krishna will be there with me. Krishna will protect me. Krishna will help me. Dhairya, we need to be little patient because Krishna also wants to does not give us like a piece of cake. Otherwise, we will think this material world is very sukhala. Actually, material world is dukhala. So we should feel some dukhala, and when the baby starts feeling the pain, he cries, then Krishna will come and say. This is how little bit we will see the devotee's life also sometimes miseries or the painful, because it's a testing period. It's the period when Krishna wants us to purify so that Krishna can come in the right time. Not only it is protection, if you want to get some help for our spiritual advancement, we should completely depend on the Krishna. And Krishna will help. Just like Dhruva Maharaj, a 5-year-old boy, wanted to seek Vishnu because his mother said that go and find Vishnu. Vishnu can only solve your problem, you know, because he was not allowed to sit on the lap of his father. That's why his stepmother didn't allow. So he became angry and he went to his mother. His mother said, go to forest and look for Vishnu. Vishnu can solve your problem. So he went to Vishnu, 5-year-old boy, don't even know where to find Vishnu. Who is Vishnu? Where to find Vishnu? But looking at his eagerness, Narad Muni came. Actually, it is said that Paramatma, Krishna, is there inside our heart. If we have a strong desire, he sent the Guru. So our internal Guru is Paramatma, but the external, and he manifests as external Guru through our spiritual master. But we should have a strong desire. I will just end with one, recent realization how Krishna will help. Krishna Shakti Vina Tar Nahi Pravartan. If you believe that because if you have some little quality or power or intelligence, you can do by your own, it is wrong. But when you depend on Krishna or Krishna's pure devotee, Krishna manifest. So there are, I am sure that this kind of incident might have happened to many of you in your life. You might have seen many different occasions how Krishna helped when you really need it. I will just, because I have privilege today to sit in Vassashan, so I will share my realization, a recent realization. 6th May, we celebrated an event, not event, something we celebrated. Anybody remember what is that? His Holiness Gopal Vishwa Goswami Maharaj, disappearance. We just memorize and share the glorification, right? And then for 1 week, Maharaj was there in this session. So I dared to sit when Maharaj was sitting. But anyway, so it was there. So both the days, like when we came in Monday and then I guess Saturday when Purushottam Chandra was giving the class, I came and I offered my obeisances and I said, Maharaj, we have a very high target of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, and there is no way we can distribute it. Nobody is interested to take. It is such a high cost, and we are not. And I have seen you when you are in ISKCON, Silicon Valley, how in short time you distributed so many Srimad Bhagavatam. And actually, Maharaj did it when he was in ISKCON, when I was there and he came in the ISKCON Silicon Valley. So please help me. And this both the days I did the prayer. Within 1 week, somebody is ready to sponsor 23 Srimad Bhagavatam, $5,000. So you see, Krishna Shakti Vinata Nahi Prabhu. If you strongly desire and surrender to the pure devotee, because it's very difficult to pray to Krishna, right? But if we are really desire and surrender to the pure devotee of Lord, Krishna Shakti will come. Apparently, it might look that we are doing, basically, Prakriti Kriya Manani Gunai Karmani Sarvasya Ahankara Vimuratmakattami Tumannati. We think by the false ego that we are the doer, actually we are not the doer. But when we surrender, that power, empowerment comes from Krishna and Krishna's devotee. That's how Krishna is always there to give the protection, to help us in our spiritual life. Tesham Chatata Yuktanam Rajatam Piti Purvakam Dadami Muddhi Yogantam Yene Mamupayantite. Bhagavad Gita 10.10. When we actually involved in the service of Krishna, Krishna gives us intelligence so that how we can reach to Krishna. That's how Krishna always gives the protection, always gives the intelligence, always helps us as a Paramatma inside and as a spiritual master or pure Vaishnava outside. And today, when we are going to Holi, and what is our role? Our role is to have a desire and do whatever endeavor we can do in our capacity. It's not like we are sleeping and Krishna will wake up and they'll say, okay, done. No. We need to do our endeavor, but Krishna will make it happen. Krishna is the sanction. Krishna will sanction. So today, when we are moving to Holi, you will see that there are many people come. Most of the people you will see not interested for chanting and dancing. They will come some other purpose. It's some fun, enjoyment, right? So whoever is distributing book, whoever is trying to preach Krishna consciousness, whoever is trying to chanting the holy name, he will be disappointed to see that they are not interested. Why have I come? Why am I wasting time? But don't get disappointed. This is our opportunity. When Srila Prabhupada came and he just came, and how many of you seen the Tomskin Park in the New York? Have you been there? So if you go there, it's a big tree, and then in the below, government has put reserved it as Hare Krishna, because from there ISKCON actually took birth. So Srila Prabhupada used to go and used to play the kartal. And if you go there, you will see there are a lot of hippies, and they will pass some comment on all. But Srila Prabhupada doesn't have any fear. Srila Prabhupada completely dependent on Krishna, just doing the kartal. He didn't have any expectation that the American boys and girls will come. But slowly he see that all the American boys and girls came, and they came forward. They started dancing. They came to and then the matchless gift started, and slowly ISKCON was established in 1966. So our duty is just touch the pavement. His case, Vaisheshika Prabhu says that what is our duty is just touch the pavement with the right desire. And it is up to Krishna to fulfill our desire. So with that mood, let us go and do whatever we can, and don't get disappointed. Just do our services in the mood of the servant, and then Krishna will send the right people to us. Even if it is a one people, but still it's worth to go. So with that mood, let's do our service for the festival of colors. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Anybody has any reflection? We have 7 minutes. Dot 7 minutes. Yes. No question. Okay.
There was this, it says when angry, when he happy, it's same because he is absolute. But when devotees are trying to please Krishna, right? They are trying to make him happy, and then some class of people would be anti-Krishna, so they are trying to make him angry, kind of, right? But then they both are not equal because the heart.
They are not equal, but as a father, his behavior towards both is same. Like a mother handling to a very obedient child versus non-obedient child. To non-obedient child, she must be angry, and the obedient child, she must be very happy with his behavior. But at the same time, mother's mood to the child does not change just because someone is obedient or not. So whether, look at this way, there are almost more than 70-80% people are atheists, don't even interested in Krishna consciousness and all. But Krishna is providing the sun, Krishna is providing the sunlight, Krishna is providing the water, Krishna is providing the oxygen, Krishna is doing everything because he is our loving father. Even if and Krishna, not only that, Krishna goes as a Jagannath in Rath Yatra, that you don't come to temple, I will go to you. And Mahaprabhu is not only going, he is chasing, come. And Nityananda Prabhu is being flat in front of the door. Just please chant Hare Krishna. Who can be more merciful? But they are all atheists. Like that, right? There's a story came out in the Corona time. I'm just giving a reflection in addition. One German guy, you might have heard, but I'm just saying, a German little old man was infected with Corona, and he was hospitalized. So, and he was in the, ventilation, right? And oxygen given. After 1-2 days, two days maybe, he was okay, and he just got, released. Then he got a bill, 5,000 euro. He started crying. Everybody say, no, why you are crying? Don't you have an insurance? We will, if you don't have an insurance, you can get a senior in coverage. We can do something. Don't you have money? Don't worry. He said, no, I have a lot of money. I don't mind to pay 5,000 euro. Then why are you crying? He said, just for 1 day, I am there, and for oxygen, you are charging 5,000 euro. For my entire life, I took oxygen without even paying a single gratitude. Who is providing oxygen? We take it granted. Just like sometimes we take it granted parents' love. But parents' love or anger, both are for the good of the child. That's why both the anger mood and this loving mood, externally they may feel, but in reality, they are all for the sake of good of the child, whether the child is bad or good. That's why Krishna is absolute, because Krishna is the supreme Father. Moment we understand it, moment you will create the relationship, Your loving relationship will create the more realization. That's why you must keep on reading Srimad Bhagavatam, because as I said, Srimad Bhagavatam expand this principle. We understand he's the supreme controller, supreme friend, like Suidam Sarva Bhutanam, Bhoktaram Yagata Pasham, Sarva Loko Mahesham. Those things are there in Bhagavad Gita. But how devotees realize it, practice it, apply it in their life is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, reading Srimad Bhagavatam for the complete understanding of Bhagavad Gita is absolutely essential. And when you cross Srimad Bhagavatam, you are in that mood, then the time to exchange the mellows. Go to Chaitanya. That is the rasa. Then you exchange the rasa. You are not only, you are completely realized. Now you are exchanging rasa. Yes, Mataji. Yes. Yes.
So how does the thirsty take the birth of body?
Yeah, I don't know exactly why it happened. Maybe Krishna's orchestration. Krishna maybe has given the intelligence, because one thing is sure, right? This war was pre-planned by Krishna. Because Krishna, if you see the Bhagavad Gita universe, 11th chapter, the universal form, Krishna has already showed that whether you fight or not fight, I have decided they will die. Krishna showed his gigantic form, and they show all the Bhishma, Dronacharya, and then Kauravas, they are entering the mouth. So it is already planned that they will die. It is just the orchestration of different event to actually result the outcome. This outcome was pre-decided, and generally devotees act under the control of Krishna. Because Draupadi is there, so probably Draupadi's anger, which is ignited and provoked this. Actually, Draupadi's anger didn't provoke. Yudhishthir Maharaj didn't do this because of Draupadi's anger of this. Yudhishthir Maharaj did it because it is the dharma to protect and to take to respect his wife. So yes, in that sense, I will say that this is orchestration of Krishna, but there might be some, and then at this stage, Ashwatthama already lost his jewel and already all his fame, glories, everything he lost. Why to kill a Brahmana son just for the body? Because he has lost whatever he has to lose, right? So everything, revenge has already been taken. Why should he kill the body? There can be better explanation. More realized souls and more pure devotees and acharyas can give some better realization. But this is how I realized. Devotees' action is always controlled and guided by Krishna, whether is in the mood of anger or mood of love. It is always controlled by Krishna. Non-devotees reject the control of Krishna. Action, pure devotees I'm talking. You want to add, Prabhu, something? Yeah, that is how I understand. May not be perfect, but that is in my limitation. I understand pure devotee always works in the anger, positive sense or negative sense, always are under the control of Krishna. Sometimes Kshatriya's anger, like you will see that many people say Bhagavad Gita is like book of war. No, it's not a book of war. Krishna actually provoked Arjuna. Fight, fight, fight. When Arjuna didn't want to fight. So many kills happened. No, because this is Krishna's plan. So under Krishna's plan, Arjuna worked. So when devotees surrender under Krishna's plan and work accordingly, there is nothing called right and wrong. Absolute, everything absolute. Because Krishna's action, Krishna's desire, Krishna's plan is absolute. Hare Krishna. We'll end here. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Festival of Colors and Preaching Mission Ki. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you very much. All close.